Errol Spence Jr. says, if you gave up on me while I was getting my together, thank you. It's your boy, Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. I can just do this all day, the two-time demonetized champion of the world.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
Check it out, man. Errol the Truth, Big Fish Spence Jr. was supposed to be facing Sebastian Fundora. It was a long, long little wait for Errol Spence Jr. to return. And eventually the fight fell apart. Sebastian Fundora is facing someone else. Errol Spence Jr. is now left in a limbo. Actually, boxing fans themselves are also left in a limbo, wondering as to what is happening and if Errol Spence Jr. himself is going to be returning. But Errol Spence Jr. reacts on social media and says this. He says, if you gave up on me while I was getting my shit together, thank you. Now, nobody really knew what was going on with Errol Spence Jr., right? It's not like even his fans knew. I'm an Errol Spence fan, so let me just say that. But it's not like we knew what Errol Spence was doing. We could only assume. Errol Spence Jr. is very cryptic with his tweets. He's not very direct about what's going on most of the time. So box fans can only put pictures and videos together to only come up with their own assumptions. But Errol Spence Jr. said thank you. So basically he's been watching, right? And he's seen that his fans have left the building. I mean, they left the building a long time ago. Guys like Mike Jones, Watch for the Hook, he's still around. And, you know, there's a few guys that's still around. But, I mean, your fan base is gone, bro. You know, all the channels that was talking about Errol Spence, they don't talk about him at all anymore. Actually, this channel right here, this dojo right here is the only channel that really talks about Errol Spence Jr. and was rooting for Errol Spence Jr. in his return. I bet we're a little bit more blunt over here, a little bit more direct. I was hoping for Errol Spence Jr. to return and make a successful return and put up a great performance against the Tower of Inferno, which would have been a tough task. I was hoping that he would have put up a great performance and moved on to the next phase of his career. However, now it's going to be a long time before we see Errol Spence in the ring. We don't know when we're going to see you, bro. And I think a good fight for Spence at this point would have been a fight with Keith One-Time Thurman. That fight makes way too much sense right now. Right now, that fight makes way too much sense. Guess what? Keith Thurman's coming back after a 3-year hiatus. He's coming back against Brock Jarvis, a dude who got knocked out in the first round against Liam Pyro. And he's going to be facing this guy in Australia. But Errol Spence Jr. himself still hasn't returned. Him and Keith Thurman have both been criminally inactive. 3 years, 2 years at a time after every fight. They fight once or twice, then they gone for 2 or 3 years. They fight once, they gone for 3 years. It's insane. But Errol Spence said you gave up on me, man. A lot of people did give up on you, bro. Now, your boy Bushido didn't give up on you, dog. Despite me having Crawford winning a fight and the big battle between the Crawford-Spence fans, I was rooting on you, and I didn't give up on the big fish. And everybody here in this dojo knows that. But I'll also be lying if I told you I would question how good is he going to be now? How sharp is he going to be? Is he going to be the same fighter? Is he a step behind his opponents now? Right? Is he a shell of his former self? There's so many questions, bro. And the biggest killer for a fighter is inactivity. Guess what? You've been very inactive, bro. So you can't get mad at your fans, bro. Because let's be honest. If Errol Spence was a fighter who, okay, we haven't seen you in the ring in a while, but if he was a fighter that was out in the mix, if he had like a social media presence, if he was at the fights, mingling and bumping shoulders with the fans and the fighters, I think things would be a little bit different right now. But right now, nobody knows anything about what's going on with the big fish, bro. We don't know if you still going to be training with Derrick James. We kind of doubt it at this point. We don't know anything. We don't know if you just we don't know. All we know is that you look like you to be in shape. That's it. You look like you're still in shape. You're not gaining any weight or anything there, and that's a good thing. But we don't know if the big fish coming back. So for the people that actually gave up on the big fish, Errol the Truth, I mean, could you really be mad at him at this point? We in a new time where things just come and go, right? We in a social media age. Things come and go, bro. Flash in the pan. You know what I'm saying? You the flavor of the moment. And to remain in that moment, you got to be consistent, bro. You got to be active. You got to have a presence. You haven't had no presence at all whatsoever. And I get it. Some guys don't like to be in the spotlight. Some guys like to just chill, be low key, rest in the shadows, hang out with their family. But what I've seen that Bud Crawford has managed to learn how to do over the years is to balance both. He'll disappear for a little bit, but then he'll be on social media talking shit. He'll disappear for a little bit, but then you'll see him at all kinds of fights and events. I mean, this is what we seen Bud Crawford doing over the years. And even though Bud Crawford isn't as active as he was years ago, Crawford fights about one time a year now, but we see a lot of Terrence Crawford, whether it's on social media or whether he's out and about at fighting or at some type of event. We see a lot of Terrence Bud Crawford. And of course, fans didn't give up on Bud, but fans essentially gave up on Errol Spence Jr. And I knew this was going to happen after that fight with Crawford. I'm like, watch what's going to happen, bro. They go disappear. Errol Spence got to do something just to kind of keep everybody there, right? It's unfortunate that everybody jumped ship so easily, right? One loss and, you know, they just kind of tuck tail and act like they was never a fan. They just kind of walked away like, oh, shit. They was like, oh, shit. I was Team Crawford this whole time. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Y'all got to ride with your boy. Hold him down and shit. But Errol Spence also got to give something to the people, too. Because I don't necessarily think it was a part of the fans that I don't think they was willingly gave up on you. I think that's just because you just kind of just disappeared and it's going on damn near 3 years, bro. That's what I really think it is. I think if he came back within a year, maybe, right, things would be a little bit different. Some of his fans still have been around and he could have gained his momentum back. He could have had the possibility of packing Arlington, Texas Stadium Arena, AT&T Stadium. You know what I'm saying? Because he's still the big fish and people still love him. Now he don't even know people still love him now. But that's the harsh reality, though. When you're on top of the game, when you're undefeated, when you're the man, everybody loves you. But then when you fall off, that's when you see what people really is with you, bro. And as you can see, even when one of your biggest critics around that time is still one of the main channels, main guys that's talking about Errol the Truth, Big Fish Spence Jr. Why? Because I'm a fan of Errol Spence. I told you, I've been telling you guys for years. And I'm still rooting on Errol Spence to come back, but the clock is ticking, bro. The clock is ticking. Errol Spence Jr. says, if you gave up on me while I was getting my shit together, thank you. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.